promise, my message is very quick and very simple. So I was recently on Good Things Utah about a few weeks ago, and I did a segment where I shared 3 tips to help release emotions. And we were really short on time that morning, and so we weren't able to get to the 3rd tip. So I promised I would put it on my website, so here it is today. To get the first 2, just go to yourhappylady.com, and in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see my recent Good Things Utah segment, and just click on that video and you can watch what we did talk about. But the 3rd technique I want to share with you is something that you do in the car. So prior to that, I had shared my turn the cheek release, and you can get that in that video. But when you're in the car, you can't turn your cheek. You've got to keep your eyes on the road. So how many times when we're driving do we have people cut us off, people breaking traffic laws, all kinds of crazy things happening, road rage, and we tend to think that when we're behind the wheel in our car, we're a different person. We're not going to be accountable because we don't know these people and they don't really see us. We're protected by our cars, so we can kind of behave however we want. But I'm here to tell you that when you're behind the wheel, and it's so easy to let yourself get upset at the crazy things that people do on the road, just know that when you harbor those emotions and you build up upon them, it's just going to create more anger and more rage and affect the way that you drive, which is not good for your safety or your children if you've got children with you. So here's a technique I'd love for you to try. I had learned this several months ago, and I have been doing it all the time. I absolutely love it, and I can firmly attest that it is amazing. So let's just say somebody turns out in front of you on the road, they cut you off, and your first inclination is to just get angry and speed up and be on their tail to let them know they did something wrong to you. So instead of doing that, when somebody cuts you off or does something that makes you upset, send them love. Send them a blessing. And so how I do that is I will say, oh, bless you. Bless you. Bless you for doing that. And I try really hard to just keep it at that, not let my emotions go anywhere else. And I'll just bless that person. What essentially that does is in that moment I'm forgiving them, and I'm recognizing that, you know what, they're just human, and I'm sure they were not purposely trying to ruin my day or do something that would cause harm for me, but nonetheless, they're human, and humans make mistakes. My job is to forgive and love, and certainly if it's something super dangerous they've done, it's never bad to let them know or honk your horn so they don't hit you. That's something totally different. But just for the sake of being angry and following someone and going out of your way to let them know that you're angry, it's not necessary. It doesn't do any good for you or for them or for anyone in your car. So try something different. Simply just send them a blessing. Just say, bless you. And when you are shouting out negative words and using gestures and things like that to show anger, you're actually putting a curse on them. You're cursing them. And that's why we call bad language cursing. We say, oh, that person was cursing. They were using bad language. It's a curse. And you don't want to be held accountable for cursing God's children. So I just recommend try blessing them instead. And in that moment, when you choose to bless someone and send love to that person, you will find that it will change everything about your world that day. That day, life just gets better. It's like you're in your power. You have more control over your life and over your situation when you choose not to go to that level of anger and hate and all those negative emotions. Just send them a blessing, keep it at that, and you'll find that you will have a wonderful day. So that was my 3rd technique that I wanted to share on the TV show. But I also want to share, because I have a little bit of time, I wanted to share the importance of emotional release. I've been working with a lot of friends lately who are suffering from severe anxiety and depression, and I truly believe I see it as a result of days, weeks, months, even years of just storing away built-up feelings. Those built-up feelings that you never express, that you never release, that you never deal with, they just store up, and then suddenly it just turns into something awful, and you don't know how you got to this place. So I've been helping a lot of friends deal with this and release those emotions. And I had my own experience of why this is so important. It was just my own reminder. A little over a week ago, I had an experience. Without giving away personal information, I had a day I had to face. It was a very emotional experience. It was something I was dreading, I wasn't looking forward to, and I had a lot of worry. And that next day, that evening, I was getting ready for bed, and I felt some itches. So I was like, oh, I must have a mosquito bite or something. Then I started to feel it everywhere, so I lifted up my shirt, looked underneath, and I had these giant red polka dots all over my torso. I've never seen anything like this before. This was like all different sizes of red raised bumps, kind of like boils, not hives, but boils all over my body, all the way up to my arms, all the way down to my legs, just all over. And I was watching them just pop up, and I could literally see new ones appearing, and I thought, what is going on? It occurred to me that maybe I had some feelings that I needed to release, some pretty strong feelings that had happened the day before. So as I got looking back, I remembered the day before. At the end of the day, I was trying to process what had happened that day, and I remember feeling like I have to release these feelings. They are very strong. I've got to release them. And I wanted to cry. My body wanted to cry to get them out, which is good. That's a good thing. But because I was getting my kids ready for bed and I was dealing with other people, I felt like I had to hold it and I couldn't cry. Well, then the thought came to me, you know what, just get on the treadmill and sweat it out. So I got on the treadmill for about an hour. I sweated, and I was sweating all around my torso. I mean, my shirt was wet. I sweated out those feelings. And by the end of my workout, I felt great. I felt like I had released most of them. Well, let me just tell you from this experience, I highly recommend, if you have the choice, to cry instead of sweating it out. So those feelings definitely were sweated out, and they manifested in those giant red sores all over my body. So I checked with myself and learned that I had some extra feelings I had not released. One of the main ones being the feeling of being unsupported. I was feeling very unsupported by some people that day in my life. And that was a pretty tough feeling for me to deal with. So I released it, I gave it to the Savior, handed it over to Him through prayer, and I felt great. I felt great. And lastly, to kind of top it all off and kind of put an end to that experience, I felt the need to ask for the Lord to remove all fear from my body, my heart, my mind, remove all the fear, all the doubt, all the worry, all the anxiety, and replace it with charity and unconditional love and faith. And so those are some of the things I've been fasting for lately, is just for Him to fill my mind, my heart, all of it, my body, with pure, unconditional love, charity, just like the Savior has, that pure Christ-like charity, and faith. And I know if I get those strengthened inside of me, it will dominate, it will overpower any worry, any fear, any doubt, any anxiety. There will be no room for those feelings. They will be gone. And I've personally been experiencing that all week. It's just been amazing. When you have fear, I know I've shared this before in past videos, but when you have fear, that is a real power. And when you have fear, you are allowing the adversary to have power over you, because he sees your fear and he says, oh, I've got her. I'm going in for the attack. I'm going in for the kill because I've got her. However, when you have faith in the Lord and you put your faith in Him and you build upon that faith, then you have power over the adversary. He has no power over you. You'll find as you're building your faith and strengthening it, you will see less and less of the adversary in your life. But previous to that moment when you're ready to build it, oh, you'll see him, because he'll want to pull you back down to that level of fear. But you have to just keep going. But you know, when you have a lot of negativity in your life, it's because you've allowed fear, anxiety, depression, worry, doubt, all of those negative feelings, you've allowed those to make a home inside of you. You've allowed those to become part of you, which gives the adversary power over you. So, I know we went a little bit deeper than I anticipated today, but that is the gist of my message today, is to send out love, send out charity, build upon your faith, send that out to everybody you come across. It will make all the difference in your life. I promise you that. You will be happy. For more tips and videos on how to be happy, you can check out my website at yourhappylady.com. You can also visit my YouTube channel under Happy Marriages, and that is all one word. Thanks so much for joining me today, and we will see you soon.